Welcome back, Sethbling here. Mojang has just released its first snapshot of 2013, and hoo boy is this one a doozy. This one adds a lot of new stuff that I am extremely excited about. So let me get to it. I'm going to show you comparators and hoppers and redstone blocks, light and heavy pressure plates, and some more stuff. And trust me, these things are all just amazing. Okay, first thing is comparator. So this is the kind of capstone block in the idea of signal strength matters. And what that means is basically this compares the signal strength of two lines. So here's this block of redstone. This block of redstone emits a signal, a redstone signal, just like a redstone torch. So you can see, you know, this is 15, this is 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. So we have a signal, an input signal of strength 9 here. Now if I put more redstone dust here, the output is also going to have signal strength 9. It looks exactly the same color as this. The thing is though, if I put another redstone block right here, it's going to turn off the output. However, if I bring this dust out a little bit farther and put the block over here, the signal is still going to have that output strength of 9. So what this does is it takes the signal that's coming in from behind the comparator and it compares the signal strength from the side. If this one is greater than or equal to the side input, then it repeats the signal strength of the back input. And then it's supposed to have this other mode where when you right click it it'll basically bump it up to 15 signal strength. I think this is a bug that it doesn't do that right now. Yeah, right now it's just always outputting the same signal strength as the input if the input is stronger than the side line. I guess this is called input A and this is called input B, the side one. So that's what it does, and that's really, really useful for a lot of things. But to be honest, I think for right now, my main thing that I'm really excited about is that if you chain them together, it's instant wire. So I cannot overstate. I cannot overstate. That's the one. How important this is. You'll notice the second that I put this down, the instant that I put this down, the signal makes it all the way around here and here, and you'll notice it's still signal strength 15. So I guess I could also replace every other thing here with dust. I bet I could even use some blocks in the middle. Anyway, it's not going to lose any signal strength as I do that. It's still making it 15 blocks here, and it's still going to be instant. Yeah, this is really big because this is a legitimate form of instant wire. It doesn't rely on any bugs, and you can almost guarantee that this will persist unless it's a bug that it's instantaneous. But I don't think it is because I had talked to Dinnerbone before, and he seemed to indicate that this was intended behavior. So that's just absolutely incredible. That is so awesome. Okay, so I'm going to move on now to hoppers, which are also just amazing blocks. Alright, so if I, let me give myself a big stack of things. If I drop some items on top of the hopper, oh, right, it's rejecting them. I forgot to take out these things. Okay, so hopper has an inventory of 5 stacks, and now if I drop items onto it, it's going to suck in those items from above. So now it's got all those items in its inventory. If I drop an entire stack onto it, it'll suck up all of them at once. So it's got all those in there. Now if I put a chest underneath it, it'll start filling up that chest. It does about like 3 items per second, I think. So there we go. So yeah, it's basically obviously super awesome because that means that if you have automated farms, you can, you can have them fill up chests rather than just having items sit around, so they won't despawn. So you can have automated farms going while you're away. But that doesn't even scratch the surface of how awesome this block is. Let me grab another chest, and I'm going to put this chest on top of the hopper. and I'm going to put items in here. Now, oh, this isn't working. Okay, I guess it doesn't work with chests. That's interesting. I thought it did. Oh, there we go. I guess that's weird. I guess it only does one operation at a time. Okay. I didn't know that. So it'll only pull in or distribute one item at a time. So yeah, you'll notice it's going about half as fast as it was before. And so you can actually get items from one chest to another. Now, we still haven't covered half of it because, you know, having static chests here like this is fine, but you can't move any of these. All of these blocks can't be pushed with pistons. However, you'll notice these minecart rails. Let me grab myself a storage minecart. Storage minecarts are now going to be extremely, extremely useful. We still have some items in this hopper. It's filling up pretty fast. Let me grab the rail here. So if I put this storage minecart underneath the hopper, you'll see it actually picked up a couple items. If I can get it to, if I can get it to stop in the right place, yeah. So it's actually going to be filling up with items, just like the normal chest did. But this is something that we can actually move around and control with, you know, pistons and powered rails. So for chest management systems, storage minecarts are going to be the new thing. But it doesn't just work below; it also works above. So if I put an item, storage minecart up here, and put it above, I can now have items coming from this storage minecart and going into this one through this item hopper, which I can't even fathom all the possibilities. You can have, you know, systems that automatically sort all of your items for you using various techniques. You can, oh my god, it's just amazing. Okay, let me not fawn over this too much. That's not all you can do with these. It also works with dispensers and brewing stands. So for instance, one thing you can do here is if I put a brewing stand right here, and I'm going to need another, let's see, I guess I'll just use some random blocks. Another hopper, which is this WIP icon here. I'm sure they're still working on it, but it's definitely got a lot done so far. So I have a brewing stand here. I'm going to put a rail here, so I'm going to fill this one up with items. Let's get these. Couldn't pull it out of there. I'm going to fill this up with just awkward potions, just for the time being. And then if I get a minecart with a chest, and I'll put, let's see, water bottles. Oops. Didn't mean to put that on top yet. Alright, I'm going to put 3 water bottles in here. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put nether warts. Okay. So now when I push this on top of the hopper, it's going to fill up those items into this brewing stand and start brewing. And then if I also had, say, let's see, a gas tier, that could have also been in the cart. So if I had that as my 5th item in the cart, so let's see, the brewing stand is brewing. Eventually this nether wart will disappear because we finished brewing these awkward potions, and then automatically that gas tier gets filled in. So we have fully automated brewing here. Now, the reason that I filled up the hopper beneath the brewing stand is because if I didn't, then it would start sucking out the items from the brewing stand. It would start pulling out the awkward potions first, and then whatever was in the recipe spot. So the idea for this automated brewing system is when you want to grab the potions, because you know they've all finished brewing, you send in another storage minecart here, and that'll pick up all the items. So and we'll finally get those potions of regeneration. So you'll only want it to stay there for long enough to just pick up 3 items, so that it'll, you know, fill in those 3 potion slots. And because this item hopper will need to stay full. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I put like an awkward potion, oops. If I put this in here, it'll go into the hopper, it'll go into the brewing stand, and it's already made its way into this hopper. So items won't sit in this brewing stand if the hopper beneath it isn't full. But anyway, so yeah. You can have fully automated brewing now from items in chests and going into items in chests. So yeah, that's just insane. And of course, you know, if you had an automatic nether wart farm, you know, putting items into chests, and then maybe automatic. Well, I guess you can't automatically make the water water bottles, but anyway, you can automate a whole lot more now about everything you do, and so that's really, really exciting. These hoppers are just awesome. I think that's all I have to say about hoppers for now, but you can expect more videos from me about these things. They are quite exceptional. And okay, so we're gonna move on. Next thing is trapped chests, and Vex is gonna love these. So we have a normal chest here and a trapped chest here. So if I put them next to each other, first of all, you'll notice I can put them right next to each other, which is awesome. This is gonna, you know, double your storage efficiency, or maybe not double, but it's really cool. You can put them next to each other. This is a feature I think a lot of people have wanted for a long time. You'll notice this one has a little bit of red around its locking mechanism. This one doesn't. And when you open it up, you can see even more red here. So it's just got a slight tint to it, but the idea is when you access the chest, you can see this. Here, let me grab a repeater to repeat that signal. So you can see that the repeater turns on when I open the chest. Now the signal strength is 1, but normally you can see only one of these redstone dust is actually lighting up and emitting those particles. I am not sure what would cause it to go above 1. I suspect it might be the number of people accessing the chest, but it doesn't seem to be activity with the chest, putting items in or taking them out, or the number of items stored in the chest or anything. So that'll take more experimentation. I'm not really sure there, but yeah, Vex is gonna love these, but they're definitely awesome, and you could have a chest that, say, you know, when you access it, it fills it up a little bit more, or something like that. Very cool. Oh, you know, one thing I forgot to mention with the hoppers is, you know, it'll take items from the ground and, you know, put them into the hopper. But if you want to get them back from the hopper out onto the ground, just use a dispenser. You know, put the items into a dispenser, power the dispenser, and you can get the items back out onto the ground. So it works both ways. You could have your mob trap feed arrows into a dispenser and have that shoot arrows out too. So many possibilities. Okay, I need to move on from these things. Okay, so that's trap chests. That's pretty much all they do. But I mean, that's really useful. And that signal strength thing is a common theme that we're seeing. All right, the next one is daylight detector. So that's this one. So this outputs signal strength depending on the amount of daylight. So right now it's full. I'm setting the time towards night. Let me do a better job of that. I think 12,000 is probably better. Yeah. So we're going to start to see this signal strength decay as the sun sets. Whoops. I have my automatic thing that... Oh, whoops. Okay. So yeah, the signal strength is decaying here. You can see it just jumped down a bit. And as it gets more and more towards nighttime, it's going to drop down towards 0. So right now it's at, what's it, 4? Yeah, it's at 4. It just dropped to 3. In a couple seconds, it'll drop down to 2. This is just really cool. You can have your base defenses turn on at night, or have a bunch of lamps turn on at night by just, you know, you could... Actually, I don't know if it powers the block below it. Let me try that out right now. Because if it does, then... okay, it doesn't power the block below it. So yeah, if you want some sort of lamp that only turns on at night, you just invert the signal from the daylight detector and then put that into a lamp. Anyway, so it's at 1 now, it'll drop down to 0. So this only detects actual sunlight. It knows the frequencies of light that the... So if I put a lamp or a piece of glowstone right next to it at nighttime, it's not going to output anything. So we can say the signal strength is 0. Put glowstone here, it's still 0. So this detects only actual natural light. Very cool. Very cool. I think a lot of people are going to have fun with that. Alright, weighted pressure plates. So there's an iron version and a gold version. You just make these by putting, you know, 2 iron next to each other, 2 iron ingots, or 2 gold ingots next to each other. These don't detect players, and they don't detect minecarts. I think the only thing they detect are items on the ground, but I'm not 100% sure. So the iron one is the light one, the gold one's the heavy one. You'll notice as I put 1 on, we've got a signal strength of 1 here, if I put on 2, 3, 4, we still have signal strength of 1. If I put on a 5th one, it pops up. Maybe I need 6. Oh wait, is this the heavy one? Sorry, this is the heavy one. Okay, so with 1 block, it has a signal strength of 1. With 2, 3, 4, it has a signal strength of 1. When I add a 5th one onto this one, it pops up to 5. And then if I add 4 more, it pops up to 6. So it's like every 4 or 5 blocks, it pops up to the next signal strength. So this just detects how many items you have on the plate. I can't think of any really straightforward uses for it, but there's a lot of more advanced uses. You can make an auction system by putting 2 pressure plates next to each other with a comparator, something like this, and you could see who won the auction by who put more items down, something like that. And then, so the heavy ones are similar. The difference, let me just grab a bunch of blocks. The difference is this operates on more. So if I spam items onto this, it's not going to increase for a while. You need, was it something like half a stack or a stack? Let's see. Yeah, so it was like about 50 blocks or something, 40, 45 maybe, before it hit the second one. And if I have to add a lot of blocks in order to make it. So basically, this detects on the scale of stacks, whereas this detects on the scale of just individual blocks. I wouldn't be surprised to see the functionality change a little bit on these to detect things like minecarts and players, and maybe storage minecarts. Be able to differentiate between all these things, because I think that would be a great use for these. And I talked to Dinnermon at one point, and I think it would make sense anyway. But for now, that's what it does. And then there's some other random things. So if you go to the Nether, you'll see a new type of ore. It's this nether quartz ore. It looks like this. It's kind of like netherrack with some, I don't know, nether quartz. And it drops this nether quartz here. Now this nether quartz is used in the crafting recipe for the comparator. And I have a link in the video description that provides all the change lists for this snapshot. So if you want to see the crafting recipe, just look there. It's a lot like a repeater, but it uses some nether quartz. Also, you can, if I grab a furnace and some netherrack, and well, we can see this nether brick here, but basically you use we use the furnace with the nether brick, and I'll grab some coal here in order to make it. So yeah, and you could even dump the nether brick into the furnace with a with a hopper and everything, in order if you want to. But anyway, so you get nether brick. 4 of these makes a nether brick block, and then you can use it to make, slabs and stairs and everything. So that's cool. If you go to your inventory, there's a new feature. Let me empty out my inventory. Actually, it's kind of full. So there's a cool new feature. So if I pick up a stack and I drag it with left click, it will distribute them evenly, which is actually really awesome. And then if I double click, it'll pick up all the items of the same type, or as many as it can fit. So I can go ahead and distribute them all into these stacks, and then I could just double click to pick them all up. So that was left click. If I drag right click, it just puts one item in each slot, and then obviously double click to pick them all up. So those are really cool inventory management systems. If you want to craft, like a slab of some block, you just drag it across the 3 spots of the crafting bench, and it'll distribute it evenly, or like bread or whatever. So that's a really cool time saver. And yeah, I mean, I think that's. Oh right. So I wanted to show you. So the redstone block here is. So that was what I was showing you earlier with the comparator. It outputs a redstone signal on all of its faces, and it's movable. So you can actually move it with pistons. So this is the first time we have a redstone power source that you can pull with pistons. Before, you could push detector rails with a minecart on it, and that would kind of push a power source. You can never pull it, and this works a lot more reliably. That had a lot of bugs with it. So this is just something I kind of threw together. I don't know what it does. It's noise machine. It's a noise machine clock or something. But yeah. So I'm not too sure what the good applications are of this yet. I definitely played around a bit with with detector rails and minecarts and pistons, and I didn't see anything too valuable. I mean, you can do things like you can make some certain designs that use pistons a little bit more compact, but yeah, I'm sure we'll see some stuff coming out with this, especially with all the new Redstone toys that we have. I'm sure there's going to be some new stuff. Also, it's a solid block. If you need a solid block where there's a torch, that might be useful. Yeah, so that's pretty much the new Snapshot. Very, very exciting stuff. Oh my god, this instant wire. I'm really looking forward to playing around with this, and you can expect a lot of videos from me about stuff you can do with these things. But for now, I just wanted to give you an overview of all the new features and the things you can do with them. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.